I apologize in advance. If Bailey Zappi throws a touchdown pass to Jacoby Myers while we're on this podcast, I am derailing this motherfucker. Okay, I'm gonna just apologize in advance. For
I
context,
mean, he could just
for the
For those
listeners,
that don't, for
me and
those
Judah
that
going head
don't
to head.
know,
He has Mac Jones. I have Jacoby Myers. I believe I was up by a point, or was Judah up by a point? One of us was
I'm
up
up by
by
a point. Yes.
Drew was up by a point.
Well, Drew's up by a
Mhm.
point. So Mac Jones is now
Right.
out of the game. For how long? I don't know. Bill Belichick, be honest with Bill Belichick time. So he's out of the game. And now Bailey Zappi's in the game. And at this point, I just need Jacoby Myers to get me 2 points. Assuming that this dude plays the rest of the game. Anyways, sorry to derail the programming. Case, back to you, bro.
The Alliance is
Welcome
on.
to the show.
Shut up.
The Alliance. Today is October 24th, 2022. You know why we're here? We're here not to get fined or not to get fired or whatever the case may be. We're here to talk about the New York Jets. The Jets won an ugly one, as we expected, 16-9. It didn't come, but it came with some. It didn't come without sacrifice. What I should say, it didn't come without sacrifice. Brees Hall went down with the ACL injury, which turned out to be ACL tear and a slight MCL tear as well. And AVT, Elijah Berry Tucker, who was a versatile, on his way to an all-pro and maybe all-time best offensive line season in a year, is also out with, I believe it was a torn tricep. That does put a damper on our parade. It wasn't a happy win. It was a win. I'm happy we won. I know the Jets are happy we won, but a dark cloud hung over our heads with this victory. There's a lot to be discussed. Losing Brees Hall, pardon me, definitely hurt us. Seeing as he's the majority of our offense, and losing AVT being our best weapon. So that does suck. Kev, we're going to start off with you. The Jets win, but at what cost? What does it cost us?
That's the most I think he's down. Anyway, I think that's the most costly Jets win of my lifetime. Like, it was so bad. Like, the game itself was bad. The quarterback played bad, and then we lost the two best players on our offense on top of that. Like, yeah, it's all bad. I don't got much more to add. I mean, Brees is fun. Like, their offense is built mostly, if you want to go there, around the shit that he can do. AVT obviously was moving all over the place, doing a whole bunch of different stuff, and he's been arguably the Jets' best player. Him or Quinnen, you could toss up. I'm not going to argue with you if you think he's one of them. That's not great. It's just all there was. I know a great philosopher once said that winning is an aphrodisiac. Sure as fuck didn't feel that way yesterday, though, bro. It didn't feel that way yesterday, bro. Like, I know winning is what counts and winning is what matters and that. Oh, they're keeping that shit a touchdown. Wow. Anyway, sorry. I know winning is all that matters and blah blah. But, like, if you told me that we could go back and we could make the Broncos win that game and you get Brees and AVT healthy instead, I would gladly trade that game for Brees and AVT being fucking healthy. So it sucks. I'm a Jets and a Yankees fan, as y'all know. So this last 24 hours has not been wonderful for me from a sports consumption perspective. So it is what it is, man. Next man up, I guess. We'll get into the James Robinson stuff later, but next man up. It's going to be really hard to replace AVT. We'll see what happens. But go ahead.
Well,
Jude.
Well, first off, I hate Bill Belichick. I regret ever complimenting this man on here. I regret ever giving him the respect. I don't know what the fuck.
Yo, this is better than a nut. I love this. This is better than
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I mean, I start Mac Jones, I'm like, okay. And if he doesn't do anything, he goes intercepts with Bill Belichick's like, at least wait until the half. If he waits until the half, things are fine. But nope. He wants to cute. But anyway, on to the game, because whatever. On to the game, at least. Yeah, the game was ugly. The defense did what they were supposed to do. And you know what? I am so happy the defense is finally doing what they're supposed to do and holding teams to sub 10 points, sub 20 points. This is what I've envisioned. This is what I wanted right here. This great, phenomenal defense right here. Quentin Williams, excellent. Secondary is really good. Brett Rippon kept trying Sauce Gardner like he's D. Milner. I don't know why he kept trying him. I mean, you saw if the refs were like letting him hold or whatever. I don't think he was, but you saw the refs let him hold. Why do you keep trying him? They just kept trying him over and over and over. And it's like, you're not getting completion, bro. Just give it up. Go to someone else. Go to Eckler's side. I don't know, but you're not going to Sauce Gardner. So that was nice to see. But yeah, defense played absolutely exceptionally. I am proud of them. Offensively, it wasn't great. It really wasn't great. And it honestly, sadly, just starts with the quarterback. Zach Wilson, he did not play particularly well. And I know Kev's going to get on me all episode. I can see the joy in his face. Jacoby Myers scored, so he's probably more charged up than I want him to be.
Damn right. I'm like a caged animal right now, bro. I'm ready. I'm ready. Give me a reason. Give me food.
I'm very scared right now, but I will say that Zach Wilson did not play particularly well. He did. He just straight up did. The problem was, yes, the offensive line was kind of bad. I get that. He had a lot of free rushers. But sometimes you spit out of a sack. That's what you should do. Good. Spit out of a sack. Throw the ball away. Stop trying to extend the play. Stop trying to be Patrick Mahomes. You are not Patrick Mahomes. You are Zach Wilson. Stop. Just stop. Just spin out, throw the ball away, live for the next down. You're not a gunslinger. The defense is too good for you to play hero ball. You don't have to do it anymore. It was just, it's aesthetically not pleasing. And yes, I know he had 0 turnovers. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't play a controlled game. He played a very risky, impulsive, just dangerous game. And we got fortunate with some of the almost turnovers. But I'm just saying, he has to play better. He just has to play better, right? He just has to play better than what he is right now. That is all I'm asking for. Everything else was fine. Mims had a actually, I do want to comment on that touchdown run because that was probably, I'm trying to say this without sounding too crazy, but that's probably the most wide open hole I've seen from the Jets in God knows how long for that touchdown run. I'm like, damn, no one even touched him. Like, I've never seen like a blocks that good. So yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, that's about it.
All right. So hold on.
And the rest need to, one more thing. The rest need to be investigated because I don't know what the fuck the refs were on. I don't know what they saw in that CJ Mosley interception that made them want to like reverse it. But yeah, the rest need to be investigated.
They got the boss call on that one. Anyway, so all right. So let me get this straight. All right. Here's some numbers. You know I'm good at giving facts. The last 11 starts for Zach Wilson, he's turned the ball over 6 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing like the Jets have been putting him in handcuffs essentially for now like 11 games. Correct? Am I wrong? Like, please stop me if I'm wrong. Okay,
you're not wrong.
So a game where maybe Zach tried to extend too many plays. Can't really argue with you. Okay, maybe he tried to extend too many plays. Maybe he tried to make stuff happen that he shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm with you. This is one of the classic, it's not about the message, it's about the messenger type of deal. Because if Kay said this, no argument. If anybody else on planet Earth said this, no argument. You cannot. That is the problem. You cannot. Because I've known you now for 7 years. Mm-hmm. All I've heard for 7 years is what do you want out of quarterback play and what do you want out of the defense?
No turnovers. No turnovers. Great defense.
What are the Jets doing right now on both sides of the ball?
Great defense. 0 turnovers.
And now you are telling me about aesthetics and how it looks. And mind you, this is the same man who I want to say it was last week. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I think it was last week. Mm-hmm. You said that because people were talking about Zach's lack of passing yards or whatever in the Packer game, and you said people are too concerned about how it looks and they'd rather lose pretty than win ugly. Is this not a direct fucking quote? Like, did I make this up? Did you not say
it is. I did say this.
Okay,
yes.
So now that Zach went through another turnover this game where he did a couple questionable things, I'm not here to fucking argue. I'm not here to argue that Zach played well. Zach is ass. As of today, Zach is ass. This can't be disputed. Don't argue with me. Don't fucking at me. I'm not arguing with you niggas about Zach Wilson. Flat out. I'm not. But right now he's ass. But this is not even the point no more. I'm talking about the brand of football that you have fucking been a champion for. I'm talking about getting on a desk and beating your chest kind of champion for this style of play for 7 years, and you told this to me at every turn. To the point where Zach looked like he might have been dead in preseason, and you were telling me about Jimmy Garoppolo. Who, mind you, Jimmy Garoppolo is not even a good game manager because he does the most smooth brain shit you've ever seen on a football field. And you were praying for that guy because he's a game manager. I don't know what that means. Like, to me, game manager just means you bad for the most part. Like, if that's the first thing that comes to mind, you ain't good. You ain't. But I just want to understand how all of a sudden now we get here. Like, you've been asking for the same shit for 7 years. Now that it's right on your doorstep, right in front of you with a big ass neon sign, like no turnovers, great defense, and now you're mad about it because it don't look how you want it to look. How are you?
I'm mad about. Look, if this is what I want. If Zach Wilson were accurate, first of all, if he were accurate, if he gave up on play,
never given a fuck about accuracy until now. Why do you care now? The man ain't turned the fucking ball over. This is what you asked for 7 years. Why do you care? If the Jets were 3-4, fine, I wouldn't say nothing to you. The Jets are 2-5, fine. There would be no reason for me to have this discussion with you. All you have been telling me, winning is an aphrodisiac. Judaism. Manage the game, don't turn the ball over. A Judaism. You beat that to death like you are Todd Bowles, like you are a professional coach. Don't turn the ball over. Play stop defense. They are doing both of those things, and you are still mad. How?
They're doing these things, but the thing is, with Zach Wilson,
how are you still mad then? Just say it. It's because he plays for the Jets, Jude. Just say it. Just not because he plays. Just say it. Just say it.
It's not because he plays for the Jets. It's because of the fact that when he's running around with these sacks, he's holding the ball for 5 seconds. All I'm just saying is that he just has to be more decisive. If he's more decisive, I will have no more issues. Be more decisive. Don't throw the ball in harm's way. I am not asking for much. I am asking for base level stuff. I'm not even asking for 150 yards.
Just this past week, you have been making the Denver Broncos out to be the fucking 85 Bears. And I'm not taking nothing away from them. They're a great defense. What do great defenses do to quarterbacks, Jude? I'll wait. And better quarterbacks than Zach fucking Wilson, by the way. They made Justin Herbert look like Zach Wilson on national TV in front of the hose. Right? What do great defenses do to quarterbacks?
Oh, wow, that's a nice catch. They make them look bad. They make them look bad. They make them look bad. And Zach Wilson looked bad. And Justin Herbert looked bad.
The bad part. Do they not make the best of quarterbacks and the worst of quarterbacks alike? Do they not make them second guess themselves and be indecisive and pass the ball? Is that not what they do?
Yes.
Now, other quarterbacks might fuck around and give the ball away. Guess who didn't yesterday? Guess who did?
Zach Wilson, he almost got the ball away on that.
How many turnovers did he have, Jude?
He had 0, but he almost got it away with.
I just want you to admit that you want to be fucking miserable. You want a reason to be miserable. Just say,
I don't want to be miserable. I love the defense. The defense is good. I like the defense.
It to be permanently implanted on his ass. Stop. We don't have to do this. Just say you want to fucking complain.
I don't want to complain. The defense is good. I like the defense. I love the defense.
You're getting what you're asking for and you're complaining. How am I supposed to draw any other conclusion that you want to complain?
I love this for the pure reason I sat here quiet. And normally I am not quiet on the podcast.
Oh my God.
But I had to let Kev cook and watch Jude squirm. And I'm glad that we're doing this for YouTube as well. Because if you're subscribed to the Middle School Podcast, please make sure you follow us on YouTube because Jude is sweating. He's nervous. His knees is heavy. Vomit on the sweater already. Mom's spaghetti.
I am because Kev all of a sudden wants to apply more pressure than the Denver Broncos did Sunday. Like this is what Zach must have felt like right now because I'm just like getting barraged over here. It's like I'm trying to speak free Russian. I'm trying to speak free Russian. This is what it's
spin out of it, Jude. Spin out of it and just admit that you like to complain. Just
I don't
spin
want
out
to.
of it. You do because listen,
You
like
know
Kev
what?
said,
I'm going to admit something right now. Kev got me out early. I'm going to admit it. I thought the game manager football would be exciting to watch because I was sick and fucking tired of all the turnovers. It is not fun to watch on the offensive end. It gets me nervous. I thought it would be fine. I thought, okay, you know what? I thought this would be fine. I thought this would be.
That watching somebody like Alex Smith was fun though. That's what I don't understand. Why? There's nothing objectively fun about that dude.
Because the Jets are turning the ball over left and right, up and down and center.
That's not what I'm not saying from being reckless is some fucking aphrodisiac or help to winning. I'm asking you what you said. PTSD. I thought game managing would be fun. Why? What is fun about it?
It's not fun
you
because
right here in 9 3-yard throws. Like, what is fun about it? I'm not saying you shouldn't prefer it over Sam Darnold. I did. Sam Darnold stunk. Okay, cool. And the team stunk. Fine. I'm not arguing that. What is fun about this though? Regardless of how we feel about Alex Smith as a quarterback, that we've discussed that to fucking death. How do you watch Alex Smith and come away with, wow, I'm entertained? How? Is what I'm asking.
See, I felt that.
I got a question. Wait, Kev, I got another question. Yeah. Jude, could you have sat through Jameis Winston 30 interception season? could you have sat through that? Because that was entertaining. I
probably would have been alcoholic.
4,000 yards or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, he threw for 4,000, 30 and 30. He did.
I honestly would. I mean, I don't know.
Jude would have killed himself, bro.
Yes,
like the 10th interception, Jude would be like, "Man, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. I'll see y'all in the afterlife, bro. I can't do this anymore." After the 10th, he'd have been done. What was that? Like week 3 for Jameis?
Yeah,
like the 10th. Week 3.
The 30th interception. Yeah, the 20th. Yeah, that would have been tough. That would have been tough.
It's one of two things, bro. Either you want to complain, or what you was hyping up ain't what you thought it was, or both. I think it's fucking both. But the thing is, what annoys me and why I'm going the fuck off right now is if Zach come out next week and do the same shit, but cut out the whirly-dirly bullshit that he be doing sometimes. All of a sudden, it's gonna be game managing is back. It's great. It's better than ever. I can't take that. That's the bullshit I can't. Like, if I felt like you were having a true revelation, like, wow, I was fucking wrong, I'm going to stop that bullshit. I'd lay off. I am a reasonable enough person. But I know you, and I know that this is not how it fucking works. And I know that 2 weeks from now, you're going to be on that same bullshit, whether it's Zach, whether it's Bailey Zappi doing it on national TV, whoever the fuck is going to protect the ball for 4 quarters and play the most bland football game you've ever seen in your life. The team is going to win, 20-13, and we're going to have to hear, that's the value of protecting the football. That's why you protect the football. That's why Teddy Bridgewater was awesome and amazing. This is why. This is why I go to the school of Bridgewater. This is why.
Oh, Jesus. Look, all I'm saying, I'm not gonna say.
And this is why you're about to take a fucking dirt nap in your fucking legacy game in our fantasy league too. This is why. This shit. You deserve it. You earned all of it. Thank you.
I earned Bailey. I earned Mac Jones.
You've been kissing Bill Belichick's ass long the fuck enough. So yeah, you earned it. Thank you.
Yes, it is ironic that Bill Belichick is probably going to be the reason I lose in this fantasy league. Unless someone wants to have a dirty hit on Brady Zappi or whatever, Bill Belichick's the reason I'm losing this league. God. But yeah, you know what? I everything's just up for Kev right now. It's crazy. I was wrong about the
Kev
game
needs
managing.
this. Kev needs this. He needs this win desperately.
I was wrong about
this anytime from I'm gonna clip this myself. I don't need no help. I'm gonna clip this portion of the programming. What you just say, I'm wrong about what? Fill it out.
I was wrong about the game managing. I was just scarred by the Jets.
Okay, why were you wrong? Besides the scoring part, why were you wrong? Like what are the pitfalls to game managing and doing nothing else?
Because every possession, the thing is, it makes every single possession matter, and you're asking for your defense to do a lot.
Wow, what I've been saying for 7 years now. You don't say. Wow. I'm clipping this shit, and I swear to everything that is holy, and you know I'm petty enough to do this shit. Anytime you you think the words game manager consecutively, I'm dropping that shit in your inbox. Like, let alone say it. You think it's gonna show up in your inbox.
Christ.
That's all.
This is
so just understand that you said it. We got it. I'm gonna go on YouTube myself, and I'm gonna clip the motherfucker. And just understand. You say anything, you think game manager, you say, oh, look at the protecting of football. You're getting that video. So unless you want to see me yelling and acting a goddamn clown in your inbox all the time, I suggest you stop. Thank you.
Wow.
You've been warned. Jude, you have been warned.
Don't say you haven't been warned. But go ahead, Case.
I appreciate the content because we definitely need top-notch content. And Jude getting dunked on through the Earth's crust by Kevin is always must-see TV. As far as my thoughts of the game on Sunday, I'm not going to dunk on you, Jude, but Jude and I have been arguing back and forth about how many times Zach Wilson needs to throw the ball.
Nah, we don't. Jude, listen, I'm sorry to say it. We really don't need to do this. Number one, Russell Wilson missed the game. Number two, Breece Hall died during the middle of the game. We really don't need to do this. We don't.
No. We don't. Listen, the conversation was, will Zach have to throw the ball for the Jets to win? And early on, the 62-yard touchdown, and it's funny because I just text Zach Wilson has 6 pass attempts already. 6 already. I was like 6 already, and I was like, all right, it looks like it's gonna be one of those games. And then Breece Hall proceeds to run for 62 yards, and I like, oh, let me put my phone down. This may be a Breece Hall masterclass again. Unfortunately, and this is not a victory lap for me, Breece Hall gets hurt. And Zach Wilson has to throw the ball more than Jude would have liked. 25 times. 26 times. I told him, I said at least a minimum. That's what's going to be required for the Jets to win. Mm-hmm. But to Jude's credit, the defense going against a backup did what they had to do. Now, would it have made much more of a difference if Russell Wilson was quarterback? Absolutely. However, from what I've seen during that game, there's nothing that made me feel like Russell Wilson was going to make a big enough impact. The Jets secondary was covering everything. LaMarcus Joyner is not the same LaMarcus Joyner that we saw miscommunicate for 2 weeks in a row. He's not the same guy. Let's just give that. He has 3 interceptions now for the season. He's not the same guy. He's doing well in coverage. Whitehead is doing well in coverage. Reed is doing well, and Sauce is who he is. The secondary is what it is. Quinnen is what he is. JFM is playing well. Comparison now, and this is the JFM we wanted to see after he got paid last year. We didn't see the JFM we're seeing this year is the JFM we wanted to see. Lawson is getting to the quarterback. I think he had a half a sack yesterday. The defense is doing what they're doing. Unfortunately for the Jets, Breece went down, and then AVT went down, and we had to rely on Zach, which is going to lead, and since we're talking about Zach and game managing and everything like that, will Mike LaFleur let Zach Wilson throw? And according to the trade today, the answer is no. The Jets' identity is running the ball. They have no desire to throw the ball. But Zach Wilson is going to have to throw the ball if we can't run the ball against the Pats, if we can't run the ball against the Bears, if we can't run the ball against the Bills. Zach Wilson is going to have to throw the next string of games against top defenses. He's going to have to throw. But will LaFleur let him throw? I don't think so. Because in the third quarter, Berrios on a nice design run, and I did it on Spaces, but it doesn't count on, even though it's recorded, it doesn't count on Spaces I do on the podcast. Braxton Berrios, I apologize. Braxton Berrios has a high motor, max speed, and he's utilized, let's say if he had, I don't know how many touches he has off the top of my head, but let's say if he has 30 touches, and that's a stretch, not 30. Let's just say he
No,
has
it ain't.
12 touches. Yeah, it's not 30. Let's say it's 12 touches. Berrios has been 40%. Like 40% of those touches have been money. Like 2 of them are touchdowns. A few of them are big gains. I apologize to Braxton Berrios. He's definitely high motor, high value guy. I think we could use him more, but we're not. But again, this goes to how MLF coaches. But that it goes back to, will he let Zach Wilson throw? So I'm not going to ask Jude. I'm going to ask Kev. Kev,
Yo.
will he ever let him throw?
All right. So since we intertwined the James Robinson, I guess we introduced the James Robinson portion of the programming. I will start with a statistic. So he had a 50. His long for the season was a 50-yard run against the Chargers on 4th and 1 where he wasn't touched. Right. So if you exclude that or ignore it, however you want to view that, he's at a 3.6 yards per carry, and he is 39th out of 45 players with 50 plus carries and broken tackle rate. So I said that all that I said. I don't know if James Robinson is still good. He was damn good for 2 years before, unfortunately, he tore his Achilles. We all know how tearing Achilles goes for football players. I mean, Cam Akers looks. We're not going to get started on Cam Akers, but he looks how he looks, right? Okay, so as far as how that goes with the Zach thing, I don't think that James Robinson is here because they don't have faith in Zach. I think James Robinson is here because he is better than Ty Johnson. That's why I think he's here. And to bring it back to MLF, I think MLF calling plays is what should be looked at because they are telling you what they believe about Zach Wilson. Because put it like this. They picked this man number 2 overall. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, Kev. Before you, I don't want to. I hate to kill your build.
No,
but
go ahead, man.
With the Achilles injury, you still think that he's better than Ty Johnson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But as far as the play call, like they drafted this guy number 2 overall, right? Last year, and I get it that they've played some good defenses and all that. I'm not trying to take nothing away from, even though Taylor Heineke looked quite fine against Green Bay yesterday, but that's neither here nor there, right? They played some good defense, blah blah. Look, I know that there are some coaches who actively, aggressively want to aim to win 20-17 kind of affairs where they don't shoot themselves in the foot. Do I think Robert Saleh and LaFleur are those coaches? I don't have enough on paper that tells me that they are. So I'm inclined to believe that they're not until proven otherwise. So if that's the case, their play calling and basically putting Zach Wilson in fucking handcuffs tells me one of 2 things. They believe this man stinks, or they believe this man can't process. Or both. It might be both. But there's no way that this play, like you could say whatever you want about he didn't have a preseason. And I'm privy to that. I'm sensitive to that. Fine. He didn't have a preseason. He's coming off injury. All right. We're a month in now. We're still doing the same stuff. So something has got to give. They did not draft this man number 2 overall, draft Elijah Moore in the 2nd round, use another top 10 pick on a receiver, and then take an explosive running back who has good hands in round 2 to turn into this. I think they are here because they think they need to be here for the moment. Will it always be this way? I don't fucking know. I'm not Miss Cleo. I don't have a fucking crystal ball. I don't know. But at the moment, there's nothing about that play calling and how they're approaching the game that says, yeah, we have confidence in our quarterback. Nothing. I don't know how that could be argued.
To go off your point, Kev, just look at how I think Denver got stopped with like a minute 55 left. The most predictable thing in the world happened. 3 straight runs. They had 3 straight runs, and then Denver used all their timeouts. If they had any sort of trust on Zach, maybe they roll him out, but they were like, no, we're not even going to do that. So it's just like, it's to your point, Kev.
Yeah. Like, to be fair, in that situation, most teams would run, but I get the general point. Like, they might give him an option to roll out and like maybe have Berrios roll in front of him. He could drop off to Berrios. Maybe Berrios breaks a tackle, etc., etc. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like, there's no way that you're looking at how Michael Floyd's calling these games and thinking, yeah, you know what, we have confidence in this guy. And to be fair, like I haven't looked at the all 22, but some of the smarter dudes, I don't really do film shit anyway. I just look at it because I'm curious more than anything else. I'm trying to learn. The guys who do this for a living, some of them, like they watch some of the film yesterday. They're like, yo, Zach left so much meat on the bone. So it's just, yeah, we can say the play calling is what it is, which it is. But also, like, if he's gonna leave meat on the bone, then what can you do? So it's just that gotta change. And also, while we're here, just one more point. This might turn into like a 30-second or so rant, so bear with me. This idea that we can't point out that Zach has been asked because the Jets are good is so fucking stupid for a few reasons. Number one being, bro, how they're winning isn't fucking sustainable long term. And if they win 11 games and Zach stinks to this point by the end of the season, we're having a conversation like who's going to be the 2023 Jets quarterback. So one can enjoy the wins. Shit, I am here. I am enjoying the wins, and I can acknowledge that the quarterback has been heinous. Okay? I can acknowledge this. I can acknowledge the quarterback play has been fucking miserable, and also acknowledge the team is 5-2 and fun. Both those things don't have to be mutually exclusive. We could do both. I promise.
Kev, I'm going to build off of your point, and I'm going to give one of my wild analogies. Zach Wilson not being well, as far as not being good, as far as quarterback play, and the Jets being 5-2. It's an old school analogy too. It's the unattractive girl in the face with the banging body. You know what it is when you see it. You know why I'm here. I'm here for the ass and tits, but everything but the face. Everything but the face. And the face of the franchise is ugly as fuck. If that's what we're going to talk about. And that's an analogy I'm going to go with. The face of the franchise is ugly as fuck. But the franchise, the body, the team, the body was good. Defense looked good. The running was looking good. But the face, my God. Oh, my God. I can't. You walk down the street with this? You walk down the street with that?
To add to your point real fast. Brees Hall getting injured is like that same girl getting a breast reduction. Okay.
Yes. You ruined the best part of yourself. You ruined the best part. Nobody's here for your face. Nobody's here because the face of your franchise is ugly. Nobody's here for the face. And people may get mad at this analogy, but if we're keeping it tall, and I've said this in Middle Initial podcast spaces. We were talking about, the Elijah Moore situation and blowing up out of proportion what it is, and how everybody turned against Elijah Moore. And it was like, well, we're going to see if Zach Wilson has to, is going to throw it and, be that guy. And to Kev's point about the trade, and I said it via text because we often text. And what did I say, Kev? It's either Joe Douglas running out and getting James Robinson either thinks that Zach stinks. This is our identity, or he really feels like we can make a playoff push, right? Yeah. I'm going to go with the latter and think we could make a playoff push because we are 5-2, which is a good cushion, and getting a running back to complement what Michael Carter has going on, and maybe Zonovan Knight gets called up or whatever. The Jets' identity is running the football, but the conversation this offseason, training camp, preseason, what has the conversation been, guys? Is Zach going to take that next step? Why is everybody so comfortable with the lie? Everybody's been capping and lying, and I am tired of it. The conversation in the offseason is Zach Wilson going to take that step? The answer is 4 games in, no. His 17-game sample, no, it does not look good. His accuracy issues does not look good. His offensive production does not look good. Do you want numbers, guys, to back this? I'm going to give you numbers. Brees Hall is, since Zach's been back, 4 touchdowns, 351 yards, at nearly 6 yards per carry, and 117 receiving yards. That's 468 yards of offense that we just lost. Not to include what he was doing before Zach came back, which is why the all-purpose yards, I think, was 696 meant so much. But that was your offense. Since Zach has been back, he's thrown 1 touchdown pass, 2 interceptions, 1 rushing touchdown, and that's it. Now, to Jude's point about the Cirque du Soleil shit, when he, you know what I mean, like just spinning and trying to do whatever. I'll say this much, and I said it on Spaces. I'm saying it again. At least it has not netted any turnovers, right? The spinning and the whirling dervish stuff and all that stuff, it hasn't netted any turnovers, but it hasn't netted any positive yards either. In fact, all those scrambles, if you go back to that 17-yard sack, Zach Wilson has netted negative yards when scrambling, right? I don't want Flacco back, but it seems like LaFleur has a better pass pro offense when anybody but Zach Wilson is the quarterback. So that's why I asked the question, when is he going to let him throw? Because we can't go through this. James Robinson is not Breece Hall. Ty Johnson is not, and neither is Michael Carter. So when? Michael LaFleur is not going to let Zach Wilson throw until week 17. He's not going to let that man throw until week 17.
That Bills game in a couple weeks might get real dark.
It might
get real dark.
Wesley Snipes like under the bed dark.
Okay, that was a random.
Necessary, but okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough, bro. You got it.
It was always going to look like that, but I mean, the Bills are by far the best, and maybe Bills and then maybe Seattle after them. Surprisingly enough, with Geno, those might be the best offenses the Jets face, so they can get away with good defense and mediocre quarterback play for many games, unless Brady Zappi turns out to be the next Tom Brady. But yeah, I mean, in regards to letting Zach throw, like Kev said, I agree with a lot of what Kev said. I don't know what's going on in their minds, so I'm not a psychic. I don't know what's going on. But the way they're playing him like he's Brett Rippon. And he's not Brett Rippon in terms of where he was drafted. He's drafted number 2 overall. You would expect him to throw a little bit more. You would expect him to take over games where he has to. And eventually, he's going to have to. Eventually, the defense, someone's going to scheme up something against it, probably the Bills. And then we'll see what Zach has. And Zach most likely doesn't have it against the Bills, but who knows? I could be wrong. But it's shape up or ship out because the roster is very, very good. The coaching, I've got on the coaching quite a bit, but the coaching has drastically improved on defense, at least. On offense, we can see the handcuffs right there. So it's all on Zach. You either do it or you don't. You don't, time to put the recruiting hat on and recruit someone else or draft someone else. I don't know who. It can't be Zach. That's all.
I will say this to further that point.
Yeah, okay.
I will say this to further that point real fast. The more they win, the more likely it is he gets replaced.
Why do you say that?
If they continue doing it at this rate, because it would be blatantly obvious that he's the weak point, like blatantly obvious. Now, don't get me wrong. It becomes harder when you actually look around and ask, like, who would the replacement be? That's not my job, thankfully. I ain't the one paid to figure that shit out. But if Zach is clearly the weak point of your team, you got some questions to ask and you got some soul searching to do. But keep on, Case.
Well, to your point, what I was going to say is we've seen guys who are game managers get replaced, right? You know, this whole and somebody said,
people couldn't wait to replace Alex Smith. Every place he went,
right?
Go ahead.
Every place. And somebody in the spaces said we need to have a conversation about what's a game manager versus, you know, what's a average or elite quarterback, whatever, right? But let's just do this recent memory. The Niners were desperately trying to replace Garoppolo, right? Who he paid, right? The Titans benched Tannehill mid-game from Malik Willis, right? After he was getting crushed, right? We already know what Alex Smith happened. You know, Mahomes played one game, and that was enough for Andy Reid to say this is enough. There's no longevity for this type of play. But the thing is, Zach is number 2 overall. So my thing is, fans are asking, well, listen, why don't you just enjoy the win? We've seen it. This is not sustainable. And I said to a couple people on the timeline, like, is this ideal? And the rebuttal, well, what's an ideal offense? Offense that fucking works? I don't know. Like, what's ideal about offense? Offense that moves on the field with both running and passing? That would be ideal, right?
Offense I think that looks like we're in the 21st century. We could go with that.
Right. You know what I mean?
This one was like that. So
right. And DJ had made a point, and Jude, I think Jude had agreed with this point before we were talking. And the league offense is down. So yeah, the Jets are in an opportune space to win enough games to get to the playoffs. But when the playoffs, Zach's going to have to throw the ball sometime. Sometimes going to have to throw the ball. You know what I mean? The Titans ran Derrick Henry, like they're still running on his back and everything like that. And I think by time now, people finally can fucking admit that the Titans' offense identity is all Derrick Henry, Kevin. It's all fucking Derrick Henry. And they're running him to the ground. And Tannehill has to throw, right? He has to throw. Like now, he has to fucking throw. But when he does, he's terrible. Jimmy Garoppolo, they go against San Francisco. He wasn't off. He wasn't, well, I don't know if he was good, but the defense gave him 44 points, right? But there's no shootout because Garoppolo, his last 3 drives were terrible. His last 3 drives were
awful. He threw a stupid-ass interception in the first half, too.
They were down 28-23. But these are the same people who watched Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes in the AFC Championship last year who are begging for more overtime because they wanted more offense, but going to sit there and say, oh, well, Zach Wilson, why are you complaining about wins? And Zach, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut up.
Finally, you say it, Case. You feel like it's been bursting out of you.
Because and I've been holding this back because I'm listening to Spaces and watching people tweet and say all other shit. I said I'm gonna save my material for the podcast. I said I'm gonna wait for the podcast because this is gonna be archived and placed in the annals of history or the annals, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't know. I'm not an English major.
Yeah, but it's annals. It's annals, bro.
Annals. That's an annals.
That's This is not a bang podcast interview.
It's on a Brazzers podcast, but
life is not Brazzers, right, Drew?
Life is not Brazzers.
Life is not Brazzers. Nope, life's not Brazzers.
But
this is insane, bros.
Right. I'm just tired of people sitting there and lying. Like literally, your tweets are there. We have podcasts and Spaces. That's why I record Spaces now. You guys are fucking lying and then coming around because we're winning games. I'm sorry. Wins are great. Don't get me wrong. I could rub it in people's faces who talking shit about the Jets. We're 5-2, and I hope we finish with the 9 wins I predicted.
Remember Brady Quinn? 0-9.
Oh yeah, the receipts.
That is like a white
age like
0-9.
Oh,
age like a racist white.
Age like a fucking Karen. But like that's the shit. That's the shit that I'll get up in the morning for to talk shit about the Jets being 5-2. But doesn't mean I'm sleeping comfortable. Like, oh, Zach Wilson is the quarterback. I'm not comfortable. We have Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios, Uzama. We have talent. And we're out here trading for running backs. Not saying that is a bad trade, but no one is confident. No one is saying, "Oh, well, we have Zach Wilson. We're good." Do you think if Pat Mahomes had a great running back and he got hurt, they're gonna sit there and say, "Well, let's go trade for somebody"? No, they're gonna be like, "We have Pat fucking Mahomes." Like,
yeah, that was something you said I found interesting. I agree with you too. It's like it speaks a lot to Zach when, yes, Breece Hall, AVT, both phenomenal players. The offense is going to take a hit without them in. But when you look at their positions, running back and guard, they're running backs and guards. If you have a stable enough like quarterback situation, at least you're bummed out. Don't get me wrong. I'm not minimizing this at all. It fucking sucks. But you're bummed out. But you're like, okay, a quarterback can cover it up. Zach Wilson, people were writing eulogies about the season. People were like, season's over, season's done. Let's go home. We're giving up on the playoffs. And it took them trading for James Robinson to get people back on board, which is like, you would trade for James Robinson just so you don't have to start Ty Johnson, not because you're that worried. So it's like stuff like that. So that's the thing.
Yeah, everybody's like, let's go. We got James Robinson. The season's back on the line. Like, what the fuck? He just, like Kev said, he tore his Achilles. Like,
and the thing is, the season was never off the line because the look at the fucking AFC right now. The AFC West is garbage. The AFC South is garbage. There are two garbage divisions. If the Jets win 2 to 3 more division games, they're in good position for the playoffs. Because half of the conference is fucking garbage. They literally need to probably win 2 more division games and then beat the Bears, Lions, and Jags. They do that. They're good to go.
Hey, man. They find a way to win 4 out of 10 games and they should be fine.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. 9 wins will get you in.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like you don't have faith in Zach to do that much. With the defense playing as they are, I mean, I could get if the Jets were like playing the Chiefs or like the Bills so often, but they're not. They're playing bad offenses. The league's bad offensively. When was the last shootout you saw in this league? Like, when was the last, oh my God, this is such a great back and forth offensive game? You haven't seen it. You really haven't seen that much of it this year.
Denver, Oakland. That's Denver. No, sorry, Las Vegas. Sorry, Denver, Las Vegas was like a tightly contested game, and I think that was a primetime game. But yeah, like you're absolutely right. Like we're not seeing anything, and people are going to argue down somebody who has 1 passing touchdown in 4 weeks. One passing touchdown, and because the Jets threw so many times when Flacco was here. It's like, yeah, our number rankings are up there. But if it was just, let's just take from when Zach Wilson played quarterback up until now, our passing offense is in the basement. We're the worst passing offense. We have 1 touchdown passing in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks. Somebody said in the spaces, if Zach finishes with 16 touchdowns, 3,000 yards, and 10 interceptions, would you be upset? And I'm like, how could I be? He has 1. That means he goes 15-8. He has 1 pass. If he finishes these with 15 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, how could I be mad? He has 1 passing fucking touchdown. Fuck you guys, man. I'm tired of talking about fucking Zach Wilson. I'm tired of this shit, bro. Sitting there lying about a quarterback who hasn't been good.
Like I'm all here for optimism. Be optimistic. They're 5-2. I'm not here to try and shit on nobody's joy. But the people who are acting like the other people who are, I guess, loudly proclaiming that Zach Wilson either has been bad or might be bad going forward is just insane to me, bro. Like, there's nothing on his resume so far that says that he isn't bad. I'm not saying he can't be good going forward. That's possible. I've seen stranger shit happen. But to date, he has been bad. That's just objectively true by whatever fucking measure you want to use. How you take his 4 games and what he's shown and what positives you can take out of it is up to you. It's in the eye of the beholder. But through 17 games, he's just objectively been bad. And if people are going to point that shit out, because no matter what we're talking about, they're 5-2, and that's great. It ain't exactly a world-beating 5-2. Number one, and number two, if 7 weeks ago we would have told you that Zach's numbers look like this through 4 games, and I just didn't give you the record. You said, "Fuck it, we don't know what the record is, but his numbers are going to look like this." You wouldn't be happy with it. You wouldn't be. So, like, I'm not sitting here trying to say you should be up at night just breaking out in cold sweats because Zach Wilson can't complete a pass. I ain't saying all that. Like, appreciate the wins as they come. We've been asking for meaningful November and December games forever. We look like we're gonna get them. Good. But if other people want to point out that the quarterback has been bad and that needs to change, let them, because it's not untrue. It's not.
Yeah, we're definitely not lying. And just for context, Zach Wilson's game logs for career games 9-17. First of all, he's completing 53% of his passes, 1,488 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions at a 74.8 quarterback rating, and he's averaging 6.17 yards per attempt. That is 0.4 touchdowns a game. Listen, enough. Just stop. Joe Douglas trades for James Robinson. He trades a conditional 6. It could be a 5th. We were covering that with the Achilles and stuff like that. So I just put it on the screen so guys can see this. That we did talk about it. I don't think it's a win. I think it's a solid trade. People are saying fleece and all that other stuff. It's not a fleece job. You know,
Yes.
the backfield of the Jaguars were full, and they were definitely moving forward with Travis Etienne. So all this fleece stuff and all this other nonsense is just fucking ridiculous. But I just wanted to put it on the space to say that we talked about it. It's really not much to talk about, but if I had a question to ask the panel, does this make a difference going forward having James Robinson in the backfield? We're going to be running back by committee, and do you think Michael Carter may feel slighted that he's not considered? Hey, I was RB1 in the beginning, and you know, like, how do you think guys feel about this for Michael Carter?
Michael, I would think, I don't know. I would think Michael Carter's fine because he's probably going to be used the same as he was with Breece Hall. I can't, especially now with James Robinson, he's still kind of working his way back, so to speak. I can't really imagine they're like going to just be like James Robinson gets the ball all the time and Michael Carter doesn't. And even then, like Michael Carter will get goal line touches. You know, he'll vulture touchdowns. So you won't have to worry about that from that perspective. So I can't imagine that. As for what it changes, it just means Ty Johnson's now on the field. Ty Johnson's now on the field. That's enough of a win. We don't need to see any more 2020. We don't need to see most 2020 Jets on the field anymore. I think that we want to burn that in the past. We already see a couple. We don't need to see all of them. We don't need to see Ty Johnson. I think we can all agree. That's all.
Kev?
Will it? I don't think it moves the needle. But again, I'm skeptical as to a running back coming off that injury who has had the profile that he's had this year, where it's basically been 2 big runs and not much else. So I'm skeptical of that as a whole. But can he give you a competitive 8 to 9 touches a week? Probably. Apparently he could block. I know he could catch. He's just not a bad player. I just don't think he's somebody who is going to move the needle like that. Like, as a matter of fact, if it had come out that it was a conditional 4th, that'd be a 3rd, I'd be on this podcast thinking a completely different fucking. I'd be so mad if that was the case. It's a 6. Who cares, bro? Like, it doesn't matter. He's a better player than Ty Johnson. Give him the ball sometimes. Let's see how it works. Hopefully their running game could keep up, because I personally don't have that much faith in Zach, especially with a worse offensive line than we had yesterday, because ABT got hurt, unfortunately. So hopefully the running game can keep it moving, and we'll see what happens against New England.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the fact that Jets are being active. You know, as far as like with it's keeping things interesting. We're not giving up on the season at all. Even with every injury, man, the Jets just feel so snake bitten. Which is funny when the pundits are saying that Jets are playing backups. Like, nigga, we got backups every fucking offensive lineman, backup centers. Like, we got backups fucking everywhere. So if especially on offense, you know what I mean? Elijah Moore he just has a tirade. Not a tirade. Let me not say that, because he didn't do that. Elijah Moore's unhappy with his role in offense. And
I have a question for you. I have a question. When teams play backup quarterbacks, so should that count as like half a win instead of a full win? So the Bears right now are playing Bailey Zappi. So that counts as half a win if they pull this off. But what if you lose to a backup quarterback? Does that count as like 2 losses instead of 1? Miami. Wait, hold on.
Listen.
Miami. Kenny Pickett. Did Miami play Kenny Pickett?
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing
that up. Miami played Kenny Pickett, right? Did he start the season as the starter quarterback? Did he? I'm just curious.
Thank you for bringing that up, because
he didn't start.
I watched the end of that game. I don't know if any of y'all watched the end of the game. I watched the very end of it.
That's awful.
Like the last drive. Like, I was switching back and forth between them and the Yankees, but the last drive I watched, and I'm sitting there like just for purely agenda-driven reasons. I don't even give a damn about the standings right now. For purely agenda-driven reasons, I wanted Kenny Pickett to go score and win, just so I could ask what would be the excuse why y'all lost today. And he threw that pick, and bro, I nearly threw my shoe at the TV, bro. I had my shoe on. I just gotten home, like I nearly threw my fucking shoe. I didn't take off my shoe. I nearly threw my fucking shoe at the TV. I'm like, bro, not only did he make a stupid ass throw into traffic, my brother had all kind of green grass ahead of him to run. Oh my god, he threw that shit. I was like, bro, that better be a touchdown. I saw the documentary. I'm like, this fucking loser. What a fucking loser.
But hey, he's a backup quarterback though, so Miami,
I'm tired of I'm so tired of hearing about the backup quarterback spiel. When we had Joe Flacco playing the first 3 games, he fucking stinks, and our starting quarterback, he stinks too. So like we playing at a disadvantage anyway. So what's the problem? What's the problem?
It's crazy. Like they're like, oh, Jacoby Brissett's a backup. He started for fucking 11 weeks. 11 weeks. That's more than half of the NFL season. He's probably going to start for the rest of the season too. We're being honest. I mean, the Browns aren't going anywhere. Yeah, they're 2-5 right now. He's probably starting for the rest of the season.
Keep a career after the deadline. They're fucking morons, bro. Yeah. There's no reason to keep a fucking running back on a 1-year deal when you're 2-5. And God knows what you're in a week or whatever the trade deadline is next week. Mm-hmm. You might be 2-6. If you don't trade Kareem Hunt, you are lunatics. Like absolute lunatics.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm actually curious as well, since we're kind of free flowing. What do you think about because we've been talking about it for a while, but NFL offenses are just down this year for the most part. It's not a lot of scoring. It seems like defenses are getting better. I'm thinking it's because of the good cornerback class this year. I think a lot of the cornerbacks drafted. I know there's this guy from Seattle, Texans. I forgot his name. Yeah, Tariq, and then Stingley, and then Sauce, obviously. But it's like there's a lot of good secondary, but it's like defense overall, it seems way up compared to previous years. I'm wondering what it is. It's very curious.
I know what the answer is. Overrated.
What's overrated?
Overrated. We overrated every offseason move at quarterback. We did. So if we go back to the archives, the annals of Middle National Pockets history, not the annals, the annals. If you go back to what we were talking about, we were lauding all of the AFC West, right? What the AFC West is going to be super competitive. Matt Ryan going to the Colts, Carson Wentz. We were talking about the quarterback balance. Okay, Mahomes is who he is. Carr is who he is who we thought he would be. So crown his ass. Russell Wilson is robbing the bank. Wentz is a 2-pack of ass. Ryan is a 2-pack of ass. Brady is old and washed the fuck up. Rodgers is 2-9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've been playing on this downfall for 2 decades. Yeah.
It's finally fucking happened. So what happened was
it's better that he didn't retire because I'm enjoying the fuck out of his downfall.
Right.
Keep it up.
Man really left Giselle for Mitch. Really left Giselle to lose to Mitch Trubisky and PJ Walker. That's crazy. That really is crazy.
Tom Brady was better when he was neglecting his family. That's what he was better. So he should have stayed back.
I mean, he's neglecting his family now. What you mean?
No. Now it's public. He should keep it up the facade. He was better.
Then again, but that's what there's a difference between neglecting your family and losing your family. To be fair, he's lost.
And losing your family. Yeah, there you go. He's lost his family. This is the result of losing his family. Neglecting was better. But no, it's the fall off is quarterback play has been absolutely atrocious. The Eagles are undefeated. And Jalen Hurts only has 6 touchdown passes. We are in a recession of offense in the NFL this season. As good as the Bills are, Josh Allen isn't world beater Josh Allen, but he's good. You know what I mean? Tua Tagovailoa got his bell rocked twice, and he all intents and purposes, he threw 4 interceptions yesterday against the Steelers, and the Steelers just dropped all 4. Right? Again, Steelers employed Mitch Trubisky and the other dude. The quarterback play is awful, right? But let's look at the running backs. Derrick Henry is Taylor is Breece Hall is doing good. but every number is down now.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and them, they're finally getting together, and maybe Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson get together down the line. But other than a few spots, there has been no bright spot. And I'm not going to overcredit the defense. I'm not going to overcredit the defense. I really think offensively, like it's just been nasty.
I thought defense was coming back. I thought this was finally the year we see some good defense coming back, but it's just offense being nasty. That sucks.
Get rid of these old motherfuckers. Let's go. Rodgers, go home. Go home. Go to Alex Jones. Go to fucking yeah.
Go to Joe.
Go to Joe Rogan. Get a podcast on Barstool, but get the fuck out of here. Tom Brady. Listen, go get a beach house in Miami and marry a 25-year-old. You know what I mean? Because
don't give him any ideas. He'll actually go do that shit.
He needs to. Tua, consider early retirement. Matt Ryan, go home, do whatever you do. I don't know what you do. You probably have 8 kids. I don't give a fuck about you, Matt Ryan.
They really bench Matt Ryan. Like, I'm surprised they had the gall to do it. Even though he's been terrible, I'm surprised they had the gall.
Well, they're going to get Mac Jones next year, so they're good to go. You know, someone said they're going to get Mac Jones. The Colts are waiting for them. Like, you know.
He's too young for them. He's too young for them.
But you know Bill Belichick's waiting to take advantage of them.
They did acquire Carson Wentz. No, you're right. Yeah, Mac Jones is next. Bad and white.
Yeah, it might be.
It's either bad and white or old and white. That's what the Colts quarterbacks
and Mac fits one of those patinas. But yeah, quarterback plays been god awful. It's been god awful.
I'm sure there's reasons to it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure there's reason to it. Like, somebody who's way smarter than me, I'm sure they'll come out with a study about it in a month or so. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I don't know why personally, but it is what it is. It is
it's time for niggas to go home.
Is down for sure, but there's definitely more that goes into it. You said what now?
It's time for niggas to go home. That's all. It's time for niggas to go home. Listen, if we went team by team on this show right now, we could pinpoint what's wrong. Like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is nice, right? But look at his team. Their identity is running the ball. Lamar Jackson's not playing awful, but who is he throwing to, right? Okay, Daniel Jones on the Giants. The Giants are 6-1. Daniel Jones is doing okay.
He's protecting the football, Case.
He's protecting the football.
They're winning. Case.
Was it 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions?
They're playing good defense and they're protecting the football, Case.
Right. San Francisco. They employed Jimmy Garoppolo. You know who's the best quarterback in the league right now? And this is what the strongest indicator
Mahomes?
Of what? No, it's Geno Smith. Everybody's talking about Geno Smith.
Yeah,
he's completing 73% of the passes.
I love Geno Smith. You are bugging.
He's completing 73% of his passes.
You are out.
There's an argument for him up there. There's an argument for he actually is playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
He's playing
one of and the best.
Pat Mahomes is the best, but my argument is this, and maybe I'm wording it wrong, but my argument is look at who is at the top of the list. Pat Mahomes, Geno Smith. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, Dak just came back off an injury, right? The Commanders employ Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke, right? Carolina has P.J. Walker starting quarterback, and they have Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. They might as well be the Jets last year.
There's a lot of crappy quarterback league wide, but jokes aside though, like Geno has, you could I guess you could make the argument for Jalen Hurts, but Geno's been the best quarterback in the NFC. I can say that with confidence, which is still a wild statement. Like it's still like you would have never ever thought that in a million years coming into it, that Geno would be the best quarterback in the NFC, and he has been.
Tom Brady is close to PJ Walker. Like, it's over. I think is this a transitional period? We're going to see a lot of guys retire. I'm hoping. My hope is, well, Rodgers and Wilson not retired because they've got the bag. But my hope is Matt Ryan and Tom Brady.
I think the Rodgers retiring is a little bit more realistic than you're giving it credit for.
You think so?
Yeah, Rodgers doesn't look like he wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair on the body language stuff is funny to me because it's like, bro, he's getting his ass kicked and his team is losing. You think he wants to lose? Like, yes, I know he's not the good body language guy. Other guys, I guess, have better body language. But the thing is, it just comes down to how you want to frame it. Because if somebody else is losing and they look like they don't care, then all of a sudden it's, oh, he doesn't care enough about this. Rodgers looks like he cares, but then he looks like a dickhead. It just depends on who you let lose. To be fair here, to me, I just don't. Bro, I don't want to lose at beer pong. So like I can relate to like hell to a sore loser, bro. I don't want to lose a shit. And like just I'll shake my hand and we can put out a good face, but I'm salty. Just understand that I'll shake your hand, I'll be salty as fuck about losing. It could be at whatever. It could be at a fucking word hunt, beer pong, you name it. I don't want to lose shit. Like, I'm not the one out here risking fucking brain damage and damage to my limbs to play football professionally. So I might sulk every now and again when I fucking lose, and I gotta hear Jack and look at his body language. No shit, I just lost to the Commanders. What is my body language supposed to be? What is my body language supposed to be? I'm supposed to be happy. If Rodgers smiled, that would also be an issue. And this is not even Aaron Rodgers' defense. Just say what you want to say. You don't like him. That's perfectly fine. He's unlikable. Like, based on the last year of him putting his foot in his fucking mouth about pretty much everything under the sun. He's unlikable. Fine, just say that. Oh, his body language. Yeah. His team is getting his ass kicked. I watched Tom Brady cuss out his entire OL last week while they was losing to Mitch Trubisky, and all I heard was how that's competitive. That's what I heard. What is it? Is it Uchiwali or is it what, Mike? What is it? Tell me.
I can tell you're upset because you're losing your voice about this.
Yes. There's been a lot of high pitched yelling on this podcast episode. I apologize.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But still,
this was supposed to be the year that the offense is like the draft was telling. We talked about how the draft and a lot of teams were drafting defense, and some of the Jets getting Sauce Gardner and getting Jermaine Johnson, and we're like, yeah, the Jets did the right thing. Get an edge, get a cornerback. You know what I mean? Sign a quarterback. Sign a safety, stuff like that. We talked about the Jets building a better defense because of this vertical game, but it kind of felt like we were worried about nothing, right? In the AFC right now, your two best quarterbacks projected, preseason Mahomes and Allen, but we thought Carr would be better than he is. He's not. We thought Matt Ryan would have been a better fit for the Colts. It's not happening. We thought Russell Wilson would have made sense and make noise in Denver. That's not happening. And then we thought Justin Herbert and the Chargers would be better. It's not happening. So we're not getting, especially at the AFC West, like Jude said, we're not getting what we expected from that. And the power shift was supposed to be to the AFC. And
there's an argument that the argument there is the AFC East and or the NFC East are the two best divisions in football, if we're being honest. That's crazy to say, but it's like
it really is, because the NFC East has spent a lot of time being doormats who they just put on national TV relentlessly because a lot of people root for those teams. They spent a lot of time being bullshit. A lot of times, 7-9 might win the division, and yet we got to see them on national TV 12 times a fucking year. Well, we're seeing them now, and the teams are actually good. So
AFC is team, a one-loss team, and a two-loss team.
Yeah.
AFC East, it's possible to see 3 teams in the playoffs from the AFC East. I mean, if the Patriots, so it's like I would have never guessed that. But yeah, it's crazy to see how the league has shifted, and it's like I was thinking to myself as well, the 2021 quarterbacks, they've all just started off pretty slow. Like I would have never guessed Mac Jones just straight up got benched. His third start in his second year, fourth start in his second year, that's like got benched. I mean, it fucking sucks for me because I'm a fan.
You said what about Mac Jones?
He got benched, and it fucking sucks.
And it cost you what?
It's costing me a win because, I mean, to be fair, I'm not upset because Brady Zappi also has 6 points. So even if I started Brady Zappi, I probably am still losing, but still, what the fuck?
I just love the fact that Bill Belichick stuck it to you. It makes me feel good inside. I don't give a fuck about a Week 7 victory. I just know that it's you, and you get to shut the fuck up for a week. Number one, and two, Bill Belichick stuck it to your ass. Your hero.
Yeah, Bill.
Stuck it to you.
Bill Belichick really,
and his team is losing on top of it. So it's not even like
Yeah.
he put in Bailey Zappi and shit turned around, they winning. His defense getting undressed on national TV in front of the hoes. On top of it all,
by the Bears,
love it.
which is
you
by the
deserve
Bears,
it.
Yo,
it's
daddy.
crazy.
I love it. I'll
Yo,
take this
daddy.
win I probably don't deserve, but I love it.
Yo, daddy. But
It's crazy.
that leads to our final topic. We can bring this back. Let's ask Jude.
A true test.
Jets versus Pats.
Mhm.
Jude says this every year without fail. We've been we've been a podcast for 2 years. This is our 101st episode. That means we've had at least 4 conversations about Jets Pats. At least. Ooh, excuse me. Let's ask Jude. Jets Pats. A true test. Are we doing this year, or are you letting it go?
Oh no, we're doing it this year. They are a test. The Bill Belichick ghost still is over this franchise. The Jets are 5-2. The Patriots are very likely. I mean, it's still the Bears, but the Patriots are going to probably be 3-4. This is a true test for them. You gotta beat Bill Belichick. You want to win the division. You want to compete. You gotta beat Bill Belichick. Now that said, I think it's more of a test of like a culture shift. I think Buffalo is like a true test of whether or not the Jets are actually serious contenders for anything past like a wild card spot. But the Patriots, they're a true test right now for, hey, have things really changed? This is the biggest Jets-Pats game since 2015 that Quincy Enunwa, shout out to him, Quincy Enunwa overtime catch. So we'll see what happens. We will see.
Kev, I'm going to mute my mic so you can shit on Kevin. I mean, sorry,
Shit on Jude,
I should say. Sorry.
Bro, what's wild about what he said? And here's the funny part about this. I wasn't even listening, so I'm just guessing about what Jude said because I know Jude. So we're talking about the true test this and the Patriots are testing this, that, third. If the Patriots are a test, it says 2 things. It says more about the Jets basically maybe not being as good as we thought, and or the fact that it's a divisional game. We are watching. Mac Jones just got benched. Your boy, your man, just got benched, and the rudderless, stuck in the mud, don't want to throw forward passes. Chicago Bears got 23 points with 7 fucking minutes left in the third quarter. We sitting there talking about who is a test and who's not a test, and who passed the test and who's failing the test. Bro, they got 23 points on these dudes, bro. The Bears have operated like they don't want to actually throw the ball forward for the majority of the season. And you're talking about what is a test or what is not a test. Hey, I'm not here to say that the game is going to be easy because the Jets are not built to beat people in an easy fashion. That is what it is. They beat the Dolphins in an easy fashion. Great. You know, when you're playing against a guy named Skyler as other team's quarterback, like, you got to do that, right? Hey, the team, you know, it is what it is. But I'll say this though: the Bears potentially putting up a 30 spot is going to make that run on first down, run on second down, 16 for 22 for 120 yards that Zach might put up next week. It's going to make it look real bad, especially if the Jets lose. But no, stop with the fucking true test. They ain't been the true test since Tom Brady left. Since Tom Brady left him, like he left his family. They ain't been the true test since then. We can stop. They haven't won a division in 2 years. We can stop. 17 in Buffalo. We can stop that. Thank you.
But you know who's still who's still there though? Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is still there.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. His defense getting worked by Justin Fields as we speak. Yeah, I'm shaking in my fucking Timberlands.
I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just assuming. I don't know why this is happening, but yeah,
I don't know why this is happening.
You can't discredit him. You cannot discredit him. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not going to say too much.
Only do so fucking much, man.
Yes,
I'm not discrediting Bill Belichick at all. He's an all-time great coach, arguably the best to ever fucking do it. This Bill Belichick is just. You act like Bill Belichick is just the world's best deodorant. Like he could just cut the scent off of anything. Is how you act. And he's a coach. He's not a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one thing. Like if Tom Brady was still there, you want to say all this bullshit about true test. I couldn't. Well, maybe not this version of Tom Brady. If Tom Brady was still actually playing like Tom Brady and not the imposter that's playing quarterback for the Buccaneers, and you want to say, yeah, it's true test. I'm not here to argue with y'all. I don't watch Tom Brady drop his dick on the Jets' collective forehead region for way too long. How could it be the test? It's only Tom Brady. No, I'd be stupid to say that shit. Bill Belichick's the coach. What's his record since Tom Brady left his life? It's still pretty good. It ain't knocking nobody's socks off.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, it'll be an interesting game. It'll be an interesting game for sure. I think the true test for if the Jets are serious contenders or just pedestrian wildcard team are the Bills. Yes, the true test. There is a true test.
There's a true test. Like there's levels to the true test.
And it's a true
so what's the true test?
Playing the Chiefs. Playing the Chiefs is the ultimate test. It's not the true test anymore.
What, they're the final boss? Is the final boss test?
Yes, the Chiefs are the final boss. You see what you do versus the Chiefs. But playing the Bills are the true test. And we'll see what happens. Yes, you put two truths on there because it's true. They are. They just are.
You put two truths on there because it's true.
It is. If you're playing the Bills, you'll find out very quickly what the fuck you are. You'll find out very quickly. The Steelers played them. They knew what the fuck they were. They weren't it. Who else? The Titans played them. They knew what the fuck they were. They weren't it. The Dolphins played them. They could be it. You'll find out from the Jets.
Jude,
you'll find out.
Jude, please stop.
Hey, I don't know how much longer we gonna go, but I just want to give one more shout out before end time comes. Shout out to the three following people: Bill Belichick for benching Mac Jones for being a fucking idiot, and Jacoby Myers for scoring a touchdown the instant Mac Jones left the football game tonight. Thank you to all three of you. I quite literally could not have done this without you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. You saved me from a week of the Alliance. You saved me from a week of that, and for that I am eternally grateful.
I mean, the Bears could blow out the what?
Jude, was Kev your true test? True test.
Cut it. Cut. End the podcast. Cut. It's the perfect way to end it. Cut.
The ultimate.
Was it the true test?
Kev was the true test, and everyone fucking failed. Romeo Doubs, that's who failed me because he put up a 0 spot for no reason against the fucking Commanders.
Kevin's doing the griddy in his chair.
That awful defense, and you can't put up a couple of points. And then Mac Jones. Mac Jones is the worst of all time. I apologize for ever defending his level of play right now. I really seriously apologize for defending him.
I'm muting you. I don't want to hear you rant. I'm muting your mic.
Loser.
I'm muting your mic. I don't want to hear you rant about nothing. Kevin's doing a chair griddy right now. Double bird. Oh God.
All I just wanted was just to beat Kev. And I mean, it was going to be a long shot.
Hey, and I want to sit on my face. We all want things.
But
Kev,
instead,
you were the ultimate test, Kev.
Final boss. You lose again. You lose again.
Street Fighter. You lose.
In my worst week, you still couldn't fucking beat me. How does it feel? My worst week.
Perfect.
Oh my God. I'm done. Please cut the show. I'm done.
You are finished.
I'm done. I'm done. Cut the show. Please cut the show. I'm done. This is unbelievable. I'm done. I'm tired of the griddy. I'm tired of all of this. I'm just tired. I'm just tired right now. I'm tired of Patrick Mahomes. I'm tired of Jacoby Myers. Tired of Jawan Johnson. Who the fuck is Jawan Johnson? I'm tired of him too.
Jawan Johnson put up a 20 spot.
I'm tired of it.
Make sure you follow Jude at Drew Truth. Make sure you follow Kevin Lewis at KLEW24. And make sure you follow me at AKSOLine. Shop our merchandise at MIPod.store. Follow us on Twitter and on social media, MIPod69. And make sure you stay inspired by 69. You guys have a